to the podcast where you better tune in. You can see the picture, all you gotta do is zoom in. You in your man cave, it's no time for your girlfriend. They talk about the Sixers and how the Sixers gon' win. If they take your loss, they gon' hear BG going in. Jenny from the block, that's a lot. They was up 10, now they down 5. You can see it in his eyes, he a fan for life, and he sitting courtside. Sports guy, if you know me, I'ma say fly. How I cross you over like when they had AI. I still a ball, I ain't ask you, may I? Not at my house, the Kimbe, I ain't gotta try. Maxi for the 3, he tryin' win. They don't want the time, B try win. I don't wanna see that boy cry, I live by the gun. I'ma shoot, I don't wanna die. They eat, sleep Sixers, you should know that it's game time.
Avanto, this shit wavy.
Welcome back to Eat Sleep Sixers, man. It's been a long time, man. We needed some time to get over that 4-0 sweep to the Knicks, and we are back for our end of season report card show where we grade all the players that mattered, all of the organization, to include the coach and the GM, who is no longer the GM. I am BG. I got my dog Carl with me to do just that, man. How you been since we lost, Carl? How you feeling, man? You been watching the games? How you cut off basketball in your brain?
BG,
What's going on?
I've cut it off, and I've been patiently waiting for this show. Nobody's safe. Not even the water boy.
Y'all heard it here. Nobody's safe in this year's report card show, man. This was a tough year, man. We saw some bright spots. I'm not going to sit up here and act like there were no bright spots about the year. Overall, I think it was a letdown. It was definitely we underachieved, in my opinion. But, you know, it's Philadelphia, man. We'll be right back here next year. But let's get over all that bullshit, and let's talk about the players. Before we go on to the individual players, I want to get myself and Carl give our individual grades for the bench overall. Bench first, Carl. We're going to go bench first. Before we get into the individual players, we want to give an overall grade to the bench. So what you think about the bench and what the bench gave us
BG,
this year?
If I'm true to my sheet that I gave you, and if I'm averaging in all the grades from the bench players that I had on my docket, it's a resounding D-. A resounding D- from the bench this year.
Yeah, I'm a lean a little bit. I'm gonna give them a little bit of leeway and say C-, only because they were utilized in a weird way this year. Very inconsistent. Quentin Grimes being the catalyst of the bench. He was the guy off the bench for the majority of the year, and with him as the leader of that bench unit, man, they definitely underachieved. Man, we were one of the lowest bench scoring teams in the league. Very rarely did we get big games from our bench. Not all their fault. Some of Nick Nurse's scheme and some of the ways he decided to play those bench players didn't quite work out. But I'll give him a C-. Only reason I'm giving him a C- because of that. And also, let's be clear, they also had to play heavy starter minutes throughout the year as well. So that's why I won't fail them. They get credit for this year, but not the credit that they should have gotten. So I'm gonna go with a C-. Carl's going with the nasty D- for the bench. Damn.
Mainly because, listen. What Teach, like we said, we can't blame the players that weren't playing, that didn't really have a role. But hey, you look at players like Walker and Barlow, who had a role before they got paid. Then they got paid, and they fell all the way back in the shade. And you didn't see them, bars, and you didn't see them anymore.
I see what you did there.
You like that?
You must have been listening to Iceman lately.
I'm sorry.
You must have been listening to Drake this week. I get it. Come on, keep going. Don't start talking about music. Talk about your players.
So I definitely, those guys like that really put a bad taste in my mouth. Grimes, I could go on. Guys that had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity and just couldn't get it done. Guys that I don't feel like they could build forward with. You got to let those young guys go. You got to get some guys in here who could be legitimate pieces off this bench.
I agree. So without further ado, man, that was just one group that we wanted to grade individually because it's some people on the bench that we will not be grading. Just so you guys know, we will not be grading anybody that played 15 games or less. So the Beauchamps of the world, even Kyle, certain people is just not. I mean, what are you grading him off of? What are you grading him for? So we will not be covering every single bench player because of that. But we did want to give the bench an overall grade. As we said, Carl's going with a D minus. I'm going with a C minus. And to talk about that bench, let's go straight to one of the players on that bench. Free agent signing this year, came into the program, and Carl was one of the people that definitely was high on this guy. He thought that he could give us solid minutes at the 4, whether it be a starter or off the bench. Myself as well. I'm not going to act like I wasn't a fan of what I thought Jabari Walker could bring. So with that being said, I'm going to give the floor to Carl. And Carl, what grade do you give Jabari Walker? You can elaborate and then tell us the grade, or you could give us the grade and elaborate.
We real on this show, so I'm going to do a live edit right here. Just off
before you give your grade, everybody in the chat, look at that question on the screen. What grade are you giving Jabari Walker? A, B, C, or F? We're not going to do D because there's only 4 options. All you got to do is type 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat to give what grade you got. Let's get it on. Go ahead, Carl.
Most definitely. I'm going to elevate him to a C minus. I had him at a D or C minus. Why? Because he is one of those players that I felt like didn't have a defined role. He was yanked in and out of the lineup, the rotation. I do feel like he has the skill set to be a legitimate bench piece. He just didn't have a role over here. So C minus for him.
I wouldn't disagree with you, man. I'll lean more in that C category as well, as teacher put. But that C minus is definitely warranted. When he was out there, it was times where I liked him being the bully of our team. He looked like he was just a grimy guy that Philadelphia needed.
Early in the year,
kind of a taller, more aggressive Mike Scott. Just go out there and be that enforcer that we need. And at times he was that. So I'm not mad with just C minus for Jabari Walker. I'm not mad with just C minus for Jabari Walker at all. All right, man. I ain't gonna be as nice as Carl. Up next, man, we got one guy off of our bench, man. This guy was thrusted into the starting lineup at times. This guy was a bench player at times. Sometimes he's a bench player, sometimes he wasn't. Adem Bona, man, young guy that we drafted to be Embiid's backup, maybe, or Embiid / Drummond's backup. His role changed throughout the year, but let's go over his stats. In 71 games, 17 minutes, shot 60% from the field. Not bad. I don't love that 4.3 rebounds. I would have loved for that number to be more around 6. But he just couldn't quite get it. But one number that does stand out to me in a big way is blocks. He did average 1.2 blocks this year. Averaging 1.2 blocks for us when we don't really have a true rim protector on this team, at times was huge. I know we would have loved him to not be in foul trouble as much, loved him to be more disciplined defensively, but he just didn't have that. He just didn't. He said he giving him a D+. But Adem Bona, I did notice that it was times that I liked you, times that I didn't. Sometimes I want to give you a B+. Sometimes I want to give you an F. So with that being said, I can't go higher than a C. I can't go higher than a C for a young, hear me out, Carl, only because he was a rookie. Now, if Adem Bona is a 5-year veteran and averaged 4.8 points and 4.3 rebounds in those 17 minutes, then I might grade him a little differently.
Isn't he a second year? He's a second-year player.
Bona's first year, ain't he?
He's a second year. This is his second year on the team, BG. I'm not going to give him that pass that you just gave him. Second year. Okay. So will we like to regrade?
He could go C minus. Because I mean, technically he downgraded from last year. When you think about it, he did average the same. He's still averaging 1.2 blocks, but his scoring average went down.
Got worse. He got worse.
His rebound numbers went down. And he was even a shell of himself in the playoffs in a more extended role. So yeah, I'll go ahead and go C minus. I'll go C minus. I'm not gonna go to a D. I'm gonna go with a C minus for Adem Bona. Adem Bona gets a C for me. What you ready to go on your player? You want to rebut my C minus?
No, I ain't going to rebut your C minus. Let's talk about my player, which
all right.
is
Imhotep's own man. Justin Edwards, great season from him in my opinion. Not great season, but definitely he got the reps that he needed to show maybe I can be an NBA player. So what you got for him, Carl?
I like him at a C. What's up, George? I like him at a C just off what you said. I feel like the small reps that he did get, I feel like he showed that he can play. Maybe on this team, maybe on another team in the NBA. I do feel like he can play. Hopefully they keep on building him and bring him back. Yeah, I'll give him a C.
I'm not mad at that C. I would give the organization a D for how they utilize Justin Edwards.
Absolutely.
But I would give him a C for when his number was called. He did the little things at times. I would have liked him to play a little more. I would have liked him to play a little better. I really thought that Justin Edwards could have been before we saw the emergence of VJ. I was like, yo, why not put Justin Edwards in the starting lineup? This is before I knew what VJ was going to be. Remember in the beginning of the season, I thought, you know what? Why not put Justin Edwards in the starting lineup? Why not have him as your starting two guard? He has size. He can knock down shots. And the way we play offense, we need shot makers. We need shot makers.
Catch and shoot guy.
There's a lot of standstill in our offense. So we need shot makers. That's why I was really high on Justin Edwards this year. But I don't think we utilized him well. So I agree with your grade. I think a C is fitting.
Can we stop the show? Can we stop the show? Okay, we can keep on going again.
Why are we stopping it?
I just wanted to, highlight Zah's comment down here. I didn't want to talk about it too much, but god damn, we need a athletic backup center who could run the floor, create energy.
We had an athletic.
We didn't appreciate him.
We didn't appreciate. We had a backup athletic center that when he was there was trash. That's like me looking at Tobias in Detroit and saying, "Damn, I wish we still had him." It's not for the Sixers. It wasn't for the Sixers, Carl. Don't talk about what these niggas do for Detroit.
We wasn't patient with him. We wasn't patient. Like a lot of players that we wasn't patient for, BG. You've admitted that we haven't been patient with some talent on this team.
With the patience is terrible. But not with Paul Reed.
He's
not
with
Paul Reed. No.
All right, let's keep on. Let's keep
playing well in Detroit. Congratulations, Paul Reed. But when you was in Philadelphia, you was a dim boner.
The mud man, out the mud. Let's keep going.
He was a dim boner when
let's keep going. He wasn't.
On to the next player, man. Another guy that we got. I'm getting all the free agent signings. Carl, what's up with this? Trendon Watford, man. Trendon Watford gave us signs early. Had a triple-double. Had us all hype. Man, we signed Tyrese Maxey, best friend, is great for the locker room. But it didn't quite show in the games. 53 games played, 16 minutes, 51% from the field. I like that, but 20% from three. Nasty to shoot 20% from three. Low assists, low rebounds, very low blocks, only 6.5 points. I mean, I'm going to go with Berg on this one and say, what can I expect from a guy that don't get a lot of time? Slightly, but I still think in those times, we saw him play amazing sometimes, and then we saw him play disgusting sometimes. And with the season ending the way it did, I'm sorry, the bad outweighs the good. So I'm going to go with, I'm giving everybody C minuses. I feel like everybody barely passed the season. Like, where it's like, I don't want to kill you, but y'all just didn't do y'all best this year. So I'm going to go with another C minus for Trendon Watford, man. He didn't give me nothing that I expected him to give, and it was light to me.
BG, I gotta talk about this C minus you gave. Let's go to the school definition of C minus, or C, should we say?
That means
saying
you
it was
passed your class and you get credit.
It was satisfactory. Was his performance satisfactory for you this season?
If I erase the 20% from three, I say yes. The only reason I say yes, because he's like the 9th or 10th player off the bench.
Why were you erasing that 20% from three?
I'm not erasing it. I'm just saying that's the only thing I really hate about his season was his 3-point percentage was nasty. But other than that, 6.5 points from a guy that's playing 16 minutes, and really his 16 minutes is only in those games that he had to play excessive minutes. But when we go with what he did in his normal role, what he was playing, like 4 minutes a game, maybe he would get in every once in a while. Like, so that's why it's hard for me to be critical of these guys that really didn't have a role.
I feel like Watford lost his role. I feel like he had an opportunity, you know what I mean, to entrench himself. They gave him hella opportunity, especially in the beginning of the season, to carve himself a role, off that bench, 6th or 7th man. He lost it. And, with that being said, I don't think you bring back a Watford. It's wasted space on that bench. We got to stop that wasted space shit. We got to stop just having guys there, because we see what happens. when a team run 8, 9 deep, we don't have it, and it shows.
It's just very difficult when you got $600 million between between three players, though. It's hard to build a roster. It's hard to get reliable bench players when all we could really sign is old heads and young guys who haven't earned money yet. That's all we've been able to sign.
Let's speak on that because we got an hour on this show. I do, we do got that mid-level exception that we have that we signed Grimes with. You could possibly entertain a player of 6-man caliber with that. I don't believe in the whole we're stuck with what we're stuck with. We have a draft pick. We have that mid-level exception. And honestly, you signed the right freaking vets. We might be all right. You signed a sharpshooter. We like to shoot. Get a couple shooters over here.
We did that.
Not one shooter.
We did that twice.
I hear
we
you.
always go after the old heads. We got Eric Gordon, Carl.
Right.
We signed Eric. We signed Danny Green, Carl. Go get shooters, but we go get them when they're 107 years old.
Yeah, and that's a big problem. They have to go back to the scouting, the drafting has to get better. Shit, Kyle Korver was a 2nd-round pick. People forget. They have to get creative a little bit, BG, with this situation that they got themselves in. They got to give themselves some depth. Bob Myers said it on his press conference. Teams that are winning championships are winning it with depth. We don't have it. Point blank. You got to create it.
It's nasty. It's nasty. But Jabari Walker, you did all right this year. Nothing to write home about. If you're not on the team next year, I'm not going to be upset.
Right.
I'm just not
at all.
You didn't do much to make me say, bring him back. He's a glue guy, or he get the job. No, you're just a guy. You're just a guy, unfortunately. Up next, everybody's favorite 3-point shooter on the Sixers. Everybody's favorite corner specialist on the Sixers. Andre Drummond, Carl. Andre Drummond, I'm going to leave Andre Drummond to you. I don't know, man. I don't know how. This is a difficult grade, in my opinion.
It's not. We signed Andre Drummond to do just
Did
what
you
he
just call him
did.
Drummond? Did you just call him Andre Drummond?
To do just what he did this year. It's not his fault that he's in his senior and he runs out of gas late in the season when we're relying on him a little bit too much because of Joel Embiid's situation. Andre Drummond, my boy, you will get a resounding C-. I give him a C- because I feel as though he did what he came to do. He did what we signed him for. Nothing more, nothing less. We didn't sign him to be a starter. We can't. We got to stop doing that.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Drum seems like the type that I actually feel comfortable giving him something in the B range, maybe a B-. And I say that because, like Carl just mentioned, his latter years, what are we expecting from Drum? Well, in his latter years, Drummond did average 8.5 rebounds off the bench. That's good. That's good. And he averaged 6.5 points. 6.5 points, 8.5 rebounds is all I could really ask for from a guy at Drummond's stature right now. In 19 minutes of play, I wish that he didn't shoot as many threes as he shot this year, but adding that to your game is something that is going to keep you in the league a little bit longer, I guess, Andre Drummond. So shout out to Andre Drummond. But I'm going to give him I'm actually going to give my highest grade so far. I'm going to give Drummond a B-, yo. I really, really don't want to grade Drummond off of what he couldn't do in Embiid's absence.
Right.
I want to grade Drummond off what he's supposed to do in his real role. So that's why I feel confident being the first person that I give a B- to. Not quite a B.
No. Out of everybody,
I can't say C.
Out of all of our supporting players, right? I feel like he was the most consistent. Say what you will about that. You know what I mean? Say what you will about that. 6 points, 8 rebounds, 8.5 rebounds a game. That's what Drummond does at this age, at this juncture of his career. We can't ask him to do a lot more. So that's why they kept Bona to do the more, but Bona couldn't do the more. So there's that. Moving on.
I know we said we wasn't going to talk about guys who weren't really around. Well, there's one on this team that I'm going to cover really quickly. We ain't go through many. We ain't go through everybody. We just went through the bench so far, and we ain't even done with the bench because I'm about to talk about somebody that was on our bench just in the regular season, just after we traded Jared McCain. Cameron Payne, man. Cam Payne, welcome back to the Sixers. Unfortunately, it was a contract that was literally through the regular season. And if we tried to sign him, we would have had to drop. If we tried to sign him for the playoffs, we would have had to get rid of one of the guys on our roster. So we cut ties with Cam Payne as the regular season ended. But Cam Payne in 22 games played solid, man. 22 games. He played 17 minutes. Averaged 7.5 points off the bench. One thing we never really have is that backup point guard that can score and facilitate. And the one thing Cam Payne does well is facilitate. He keeps the offense moving. He keeps guys involved when he's out there. He's not just chucking up shots, even though he chucks up some shots.
Right.
Definitely a guy that I was pleased that we at least filled that backup point guard role with once we got rid of McCain.
Acknowledge that we needed one. Right.
I definitely would have rather had McCain in this situation. But you know what, Cameron Payne, I appreciate you coming back to a familiar locker room that you were in just 2 years ago and playing some solid minutes, man. Yeah, we saw some really good games from Cameron Payne. So, but for just the 22 games that he played, I think it was worth a B. I think it was worth a B.
Hey,
nothing crazy, nothing amazing, but nothing bad. I can't think of bad campaign.
This is the first player that I'm going to speak up on with you. I'm going to give him a B as well. You know, and I actually think if you would have X'd off one of those guys that you gave that money to and added him to that playoff roster, he would have made that bench just a little bit more formidable. You know, I felt like when he was in the game, he made his presence felt this year with the minutes, the little bit of minutes he had. Shout out to Cameron Payne. We saw you this year, bro.
Here we go. Framed in the building. Frame found us. I thought Frame would be busy or Frame wouldn't be looking for the show. I thought he wouldn't have been looking for the show because it ain't no game. But somehow Frame done made his way back in. What's up, Frame? What's up, Frame?
Come on, let's hurry this up before he calls friends in here.
On to the next player. It's on you, Carl. We talked about Jared McCain. We talked about when we got rid of him, how much it meant to the Sixers, how bad we felt about it. But it did allow us to officially give money to Dominic Barlow. Dominic Barlow was able to get a contract.
Hold on. No, because this is an hour show and we live. Hello, Nafisa Austin. How are you?
Yes. Read it out loud, Carl. But if people that can't read, I want you to read it and I want you to explain yourself.
Carl's so funny. I agree with his grades, but the fact that he was super supporting these same bums all season is crazy. Y'all should keep the show going. I love the chemistry. Well, listen, Nafisa. First and foremost, we appreciate your support. We appreciate you being here. This is 7 years in the running.
It's Nafis Austin.
Nafis, sorry.
Austin.
Nafis.
Yeah, my bad, Nafis. I just looked. I'm like, wait, it ain't Nafis.
All right, he loves to correct me. We're gonna keep this going like we have the last 7 years. We appreciate your support. And I'm gonna keep on supporting those bums off the bench because as you saw, we need those bums when it counts. We need them.
Oh, we need better bums. We need better bums.
Better bums, bro.
We need better bums.
They weren't the right bums. Like you need the right role players, man. But let's carry on.
All right, man. So it's on you to tell me what grades you giving Dominic Barlow. Like I mentioned, he was a guy who was on a two-way contract, and then once we moved McCain, we were able to give him an actual contract. So what you think? What you got for Dominic Barlow today?
Dominic Barlow gets a resounding D. He upsets me. Because, he was one of my favorite players to talk about early on this year. The defense was impeccable. Second half of the season, after he got paid, I just don't get it. I don't get how you go from here to there defensively. That's an effort thing, bro. I don't know what happened to Barlow, but you might have sold yourself out of town. I don't know.
The thing with Barlow this year for me was we felt like he was the only person that can truly be our four with Embiid.
Right.
The second Embiid was out, Barlow wasn't in. Like we couldn't play Barlow without Embiid. It was something about Nick Nurse's scheme that Drummond and Barlow wasn't a good look. Bona and Barlow wasn't good. It was only the time we saw the best of Barlow was when Embiid was there. And unfortunately, Embiid wasn't there often. So it's difficult to grade him. Again, every six is difficult to grade because nobody has a true role. But if I had to give Barlow a grade, I think upwards in the beginning of the season, I think I would have been leaning towards a B. But your play after getting paid might have dropped you down to a D for me, or at least a C minus because of your pay after play. What you were doing to get paid, I enjoyed. But after you got paid, it was nasty.
Yeah, true indeed. True
I don't
indeed.
miss B-ball, Paul. We would have.
I mean,
Carl,
I'm just putting.
Watch this, y'all. Watch this, y'all. I'm gonna ask Carl one question. If B-ball Paul played for the Sixers, would the Sixers still be playing basketball right now?
Absolutely.
Shut up.
He would have given him the. He would have given him the heart that we needed. We played like a bunch of cowards. B-ball would have came with the heart. He would have brought the heart. Carry on.
Stephen gave Barlow a C. I'm not mad at that C. Like I said, I think he was trending towards having a solid season. Us maybe coming in here giving him a B, but I think just his play after getting paid was just like, yo, where boy at? Like, what happened? What happened to Barlow? So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that grade for Dominic Barlow. Who we got next? Oh, man. I'm going to start by saying that this guy somehow gets paid this offseason, I'm going to be highly upset with the Sixers brass. I do agree that you need this type of guy as the sixth man, the type of guy who can get his own shot, the type of guy that won't shy away from his own shot, the type of guy that plays with a lot of confidence.
We're judging off the regular season, BG.
Yeah. One thing I said about Quentin Grimes, at the beginning of the season was, I think he was just a product of we was ass at the end of last year, and he was cooking on an ass team. Don't let this fool y'all and make y'all think he's something he ain't. And too many times I saw Quentin Grimes show me something that was terrible. Quentin Grimes this season, being the main player off the bench, 30 minutes. 30 minutes for a bench player is starter minutes, y'all.
That's starter minutes, man.
That's starter minutes. And although he gave us 13.4 points, it was too many games where he had high turnover numbers, too many games where he had low efficiency that I can't give him, oh, man, this was one of them guys that should have been in the running for sixth man of the year. And because he was our sixth man and he's so far down on my list of sixth men of the year, I'm sorry, Grimes. I'm sorry. I'm only giving you a D plus because I want you gone. I want you gone. I like you as a player, but I don't think you fit what the Sixers need off that bench, man. I don't think he fits what the Sixers need. Too much up and down. He was at times bad this year. Not just not good. He was at times bad this year. Bad. And this was my worry going into the offseason last year. Please don't give this guy some outrageous contract because he was able to score a lot of points on a bad Sixers team last year.
Most definitely.
That's what I was hoping. So I'm hoping that we don't do the same thing this year.
Grimes and a few of our other players on our team are a product of young players needing to be coached by a coach who's used to having stars do it themselves on the floor. It's not going to help you here. So I don't think it's going to be a good look by him either way. Yes, I agree with that D. I doubled down on that D from him. Not enough from Grimes this year. Not enough from him in the playoffs. Not enough from him on the defensive side of the ball. Not enough from him on the offensive side of the ball this year. Just not enough.
Yeah, I think that sums up Grimes' season, in my opinion. Your exact words. It just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. What I expected Kelly Oubre to be off our bench is what I expected Quentin Grimes to be off our bench. He just wasn't it, man. He just wasn't it. But with that being said, let's jump right into Kelly Oubre. Pause. Let's go right to Kelly Oubre, man. Number 9 on the Philadelphia 76ers. Gives it his all every single game. What you think?
Kelly Oubre, man. This is a tough joint for me, man, because like you said, we got to judge off the regular season and not what we just saw in the playoffs. So, I got to go with a C+ for me, for Kelly Oubre. I do feel like, he gave us what we needed. Once again, when we signed him, we knew what we were getting. He gave it to us this year. Nothing more, nothing less. He did his job. C+.
Again, this is another grade I wanted to lean towards a B+. A B-. I apologize. But then when I break down the regular season stats compared to the playoff stats, you digressed.
Big time.
36% shooter in the regular season.
Big time.
Postseason, you shot 25%.
He hurt us big time in the playoffs.
Your steals, 1.4 steals in the regular season, 0.5 in the playoffs. 14 points in the regular season, 11 in the playoffs. Like, you can't get worse in the playoffs. I'm sorry. So that's why that B minus that I had turned into a C plus for me, because he just didn't give us. Shaq used to always say, hey, you average 25 in the playoff. I mean, in the regular season, you should average 28 in the playoff. Like, everybody should get better.
And
everybody should be playing their best. Him letting off the gas a little bit in the playoffs a little bit, even though he played well against Boston.
Right.
Numbers just don't show that he stepped his game up in the playoffs. So that's why I'm going to go with a C plus.
Listen, I cannot let that be said without saying shout out to him and Maxey for rumbling through injuries, but there is no excuse once it gets to the playoffs. Every superstar player or player that's used to get a lot of usage is battling some type of injury. You got to fight through it. The great ones perform on that level when they are hurting and going through those injuries. We didn't see that this year from our guys. They showed that the injuries, hurt them.
Yeah. From top to bottom. From top to bottom. We had injuries.
Yeah,
we had guys in and out the lineup because of drug use, not illegal drugs, not nothing crazy. You wasn't nowhere snorting, but I mean, doing
you mind to talk about him. You mind to talk about him.
We're not here yet. He next.
Okay.
I'm gonna go VJ. I'm gonna leave you with PG, but I'm gonna go VJ first, man. Shout out to VJ Edgecombe, man. VJ Edgecombe, if not for guys like Cooper Flagg and Con Knipple, VJ Edgecombe was hands down the best rookie of the year this year, man. What he brought to this team was much needed. The future is definitely bright for him. Played 75 games, averaged 16 points. Majority of the year all year. If he played, he started. Outstanding on the defensive end, outstanding rebounding the ball from the guard position. Was able to facilitate at times. Came up a little short when it came down to the playoffs.
Ran out of gas, man.
Those lights got a little too bright for him. It seemed like he did have a huge game against Boston. I want to say game 2, where he went bananas against Boston in the playoffs. But outside of that game 2, it seemed like VJ was a shell of himself. That jump shot that we saw him create throughout the year that he didn't have coming out of Baylor, man, it wasn't falling for him late. His free throw numbers dropped 10% in the playoffs.
Right.
But overall, man, BJ had a hell of a year, man.
Probably the best. Hey, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to stand tall and say it. It's probably the best rookie year since Allen Iverson. I'm talking about, shock factor. I'm talking about affecting the game as a rookie.
You're talking about Philadelphia rookie year, right? Not overall rookie
Philadelphia.
Okay.
Philadelphia
I was about to say, hold up, calm down now.
No.
Philadelphia rookie year, you know what? I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that because you think about Ben Simmons' second year where he won rookie of the year. He was good, but not. I think I've taken VJ's rookie year over that year.
Hell yeah.
You think about Michael Carter Williams' rookie year, amazing start, but just stayed okay. It wasn't a great draft class that year. So
we seen VJ get better
a lot to compete with
all year. Like, we never really seen that before. We seen him get better at stuff that he wasn't good at.
We saw us be able to go through him late to close games, which we've
never
been able to see that from a rookie.
Right.
When we have a guy like Maxey on the floor or Embiid on the floor, we saw certain times throughout the season that VJ was able to take them shots left. I think he was one of the highest fourth quarter scorers in the league. Clutch points, he was up there all year. So, man, with that being said, as much as people want to knock VJ for that playoff run, and he didn't quite, he came up a little shorter than we expected. But VJ Edgecombe, with the rookie year that he had, I mentioned that there was only 2 rookies, in my opinion, that played better than him. And they only played better because their roles were different. VJ Edgecombe get an A minus from me. A minus, the only Sixer, I promise you, we ain't even got to finish the show to let y'all know he is the only Sixer that I will be giving anything that even remotely sounds like an A this year, man. VJ Edgecombe, hell of a rookie season. Can't wait to see what the future has to offer for this kid, man. The sky's the limit. Sky is the limit.
Most definitely. I'm going to double down on that A. I'm going to give him a minus because he ran out of gas in that second round. But, Lord, man, like I said.
Yeah, mine was an A minus. Mine was an A minus.
Yeah. best rookie season that I've seen, here in Philadelphia since Allen Iverson. And what made it more impactful is he made winning plays.
Winning plays
when
often.
AI was getting his stats on a rookie year, it was on a losing team. It's easier to score 30-something points on a losing team. But when you're affecting a winning team as a rookie, that says something different. It says something different. He showed that he can fit in for one, and he showed that he could be the guy this year on multiple occasions. A- for VJ.
Yeah, man. Hats off to VJ. That rookie season was one that the city needed. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've had stars here for a while now. We've had Joel Embiid. We've had Tyrese Maxey show that he was an all-star caliber player. But something different about VJ, man. He definitely looks like he wants to give everything he got to win a championship. And not saying he's so ingrained in the Philadelphia now that he's of the ilk of I just want to bring a championship to the city. But I think he takes this losing. He takes bad games personal, and he's going to get in the lab this summer and be a even better player next year. The tape, they're going to have more tape on you. You're going to have to be different. Sophomore slump is real, but I believe if I had to believe in anybody, it'd be VJ Edgecombe making a great leap next year after an outstanding rookie season. Up next, oh man, I don't know if you want to call him Pandemic P, you want to call him Playoff P, you want to call him Prescription P, you want to call him Podcast P. Paul George, man. Paul George put us in a difficult situation this year, but he was out there when it mattered. He did play in the playoffs. Injuries weren't quite the thing that kept him out this year. It was other things that kept him out this year. But when he was out there, we saw different types of Paul George. What did you think about that different Paul George we saw this year? Carl, what you giving?
I'm going to stick to my grade of a B-. We saw Paul George in the time that he was out there. He was efficient. He did play both sides of the floor. One thing we're not going to call him, BG, is washed up P, because he's not that. He's shown us he could still get it. He could still get it. He's not washed up in the first quarter. Hold up.
What about the other 3 quarters?
The reason why he got my minus, and the reason why I'm not gloating all over having a PG parade, my brother, that New York series, Philadelphia is the city that, what have you done for me lately? That's what we remember you for in that New York series. Was not enough. It just was not enough. And for that, you get a B-.
Most against Boston. Teacher said PG only affected winning when it mattered most against Boston, and that's it. Yeah, that was the thing. It was like when you saw the type of aggressiveness he came out with against Boston, it was like, ooh, that 25-game suspension might have did him right. We gonna be nice, but he ran out of gas. I'm not gonna be as nice as you, Carl. Not gonna be as nice as you, Carl.
I knew you wasn't.
The only reason I'm not gonna be as nice as you, what you gave him, a B+?
I gave him a B-.
I'm not gonna be as nice as you, because if I wanted to give him a B-, let's just say we're in school for real. This is a report card show, so we're gonna treat it like school. If you was a B- and then you got caught cheating on the test, then you get a 0 on that test, and that drops your grade. He got caught cheating, yo. He got caught cheating, whether it was on purpose, whether it was accident, it was in a banned substance by the NBA. So when you get a 0 on one of your tests, it drops your grade, Carl. He left us high and dry hanging for 25 games. The most important 25 games. The 25 games in February and March. Hello? Those are the most important weeks of the season. February and March, right after the trade deadline, and then March leading into April, because the playoffs start in the middle of April. So for him to leave, for him to be caught not cheating, but using something he shouldn't have been using, getting a 0 on that test that day for 25 days, it lowered his grade for me. I'm sorry. I can't give him a B. I can't. And I loved what I saw to Paul George defensively. And damn, wait, he still got his bag. He can give us buckets whenever. But you got caught cheating on a test.
Mm-hmm.
Drops your grade a little bit, dog. Drops your grade just a little bit.
Okay.
Drops your grade just a little bit for
me.
Who we got next? Who was Paul George? Paul George is you. So shit.
Mm-hmm. Talk about it.
Damn it. Let me pull up my Embiid screen. Let me pull up my Embiid screen. So as you know, the NBA regular season is 82 games. And once again, everybody knows that half of 82 is 41. If you didn't know, I just gave you your first math lesson on Eat Sleep Sixers.
Boom.
Half of 82 is 41. And once again, Joel Embiid played less than that. Joel Embiid only gave us 38 games. In and out of the lineup, injuries, freak injuries, appendicitis. Like, why can't we have nice things? Why does this guy's body continue to fall apart? And it's like we want to believe, we want to believe, but every time it seems like maybe we can do it, something happens to this guy's body, man. Like I mentioned, 38 games played out of a possible 82 in the regular season, only 31 minutes. So that's his norm. He averages 31 minutes in his career, 31 minutes. So we didn't overuse him. He averaged 26 points. That's normal. 7 rebounds. That's normal. 1.2 blocks. Normal. Assists, 3.9, normal. Joel Embiid, I don't look at you as a normal player, though. So when I say all those normal numbers, it doesn't impress me anymore. Those normal numbers might make people say, oh, all NBA. Might make people say, oh, he might be the second or third best center in the NBA, maybe even the first. But when I've seen the same thing for 8, 9, 10 years, sorry. I can't keep giving you the same grade for showing up to class when you feel like it. I know it's not your fault, injuries.
Right.
But when you're not in class for the whole lecture, how do I expect you to pass the test? When you miss all the assignments, how do I expect you to pass the class? But I guess the same way I lower people's grades for what they gave us in the playoffs, I will say that one hump we couldn't get over for years and years and years. We couldn't beat the Boston Celtics. And if not for Joel Embiid, we would not have beat the Boston Celtics in games 5, 6, and 7 after being down 3-1. So because he was able to do that, I'll keep it at a C+. But if we did not beat the Celtics, I'm sorry, I can't keep passing Embiid in this class when he doesn't show up.
I'm gonna give my grade, and I'll explain my grade, and then I'm gonna elaborate going forward. Joel Embiid gets a D- for me.
Damn.
And
I thought you was gonna go higher than me.
I'm going availability, and we have to go availability from here on out. We know who he is. We know what he can do. Are you available to do it? Point blank. I think going forward, the only way to move forward with Joel Embiid, there's 2 things that need to happen. Either he retires and give the team back some money to go forward, or he accepts a lesser role off the bench and allow them to move forward without him being a focal point on the team and give what he can going forward. He cannot continue to be a big piece in this starting lineup that they program and organize around and plan to go forward throughout the season. It just doesn't happen. We tried it every way. We sat him out this year, put him in a refrigerator.
So you don't like option 3? Because you only gave 2 options.
What's
option you don't
3?
think option 3 is a chance in hell?
I don't think no team in their right mind, GM and owner, will allow them to make that investment, knowing all the information that everybody knows already.
What if you're a team that's not trying to win?
If you're a team that's not trying to win, that's trying to salary dump, maybe.
Well, you're not really salary dumping if you're taking Embiid shit. Don't get me wrong. If you, I'm only thinking about one trade and one trade only. I'm thinking about Sabonis and Malik Monk.
Why would they make that trade? Why would they make that trade? I know why we would make that trade. Why would they make that trade?
Because
why would you want to have a guy available 20 games a year?
I mean, Sabonis only played like 20-something games. Hold on, give me 10 seconds because I'm about to find this. Sabonis didn't play. Sabonis didn't play a lot this year. He was out of the lineup, and I only know that because I got him on my fantasy basketball team. So I know he was out of the lineup a lot. So but let me see how many games Sabonis played. Sabonis played 15 games.
Right.
He only played 19. I'm sorry. 19 games played, 15 games started. So it's like maybe they ready to move on.
Nah. He has 3 years, $190 million left on his contract. No team is going to trade for that. If they do, BG, more power to them. They blessed us for real because we put ourselves in a real dark spot. The only other option is him accepting an early retirement or him accepting a lesser role and letting the franchise move on in the starting unit without him. How you gonna say you're gonna be at
I
this
mean,
job and you're gonna start at this job and you know you ain't gonna be there but 30 games a year? Nah, we got to keep pushing.
the money actually might work, yo.
You know what?
Hey, the
You
money might work.
you know what?
Hey,
You don't work
real
yourself up for this. You don't work
hey,
yourself up for this.
money
Go ahead.
might work. Sabonis
ahead.
make 43 million a year.
Right. I get that. I get
Sabonis
that.
make 43 million a year, and Embiid make Joel. Where Joel at?
This is what BG has had
He
to
make
do, y'all.
55. He
This is
make
what he's had to
55.
do, y'all, to make himself sane during this
Nah,
break.
it's not even about being sane. I just don't look, man. I've been vocal about this statement for a long time, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. But I also want to preface it by saying I love Joel Embiid.
Absolutely, we both do.
The Philadelphia 76ers will not ever win a championship
With Joel
Embiid.
Embiid.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I
Right.
love him.
Right.
But the Sixers won't win shit as long as he is the best player on the team. I'm
Right.
sorry.
All right.
Again, I started with my grade telling you how many games he played. 38. It's 41 games
Right.
to make it to halfway through the season.
Right.
He's yet what when are you gonna do that? He's
Right.
missed more games than he played in the 10 years that he's been here. It's over, y'all.
The
I'm
only
sorry.
the only way the Sixers get up out of this with a trade, if they find a team with a lot of cap, right? And they're willing to take some bullshit to give them Joel Embiid.
But
to
that's
get up
not.
out of
But that's the thing. We acting like Joel's still not a hot commodity.
No,
if
he
go to
is.
the right situation where he only needed 30 games a year, then maybe. But in Philadelphia, we need your ass a little bit more. So guess what? You ain't got it in you. We can't have you around here.
Most
On to the
definitely.
next player, man. We
On to the
forgot
next.
the best player on the Sixers. Everybody's favorite player. Man, I got a feeling this one's gonna be a tough one because everybody in the chat, not everybody, but most of the people in the chat is down on Maxey this year. See, I told y'all he wasn't the guy. I told you he couldn't do it. I told you can't build around him. Well, technically, we haven't started building around him yet. So don't judge that
Boom.
man off
Boom.
of what he did on this
Boom.
Sixers team.
Boom.
But, Carl, the floor is yours. What you got for Tyrese Maxey?
Tyrese Maxey. I felt like this was one of your best seasons. With that being said, I expect more out of you. You got better on defense on the side of the ball. I saw that. You got worse in decision making. I saw that too. Could you have gotten worse in decision making because you've been asked to carry a bigger load than you signed up for? Maybe. It's a lot of change up in the lineup. I get all of that. With all that being said, Tyrese Maxey, you get a B- this year. And I am adding in the playoffs. I don't care who's out there. I don't care if it's Joel out there, PG out there. There was a game where you had 5 field goal attempts at halftime in the playoffs. No, just no. I need him to be uber aggressive, but with selective smartness. He has to learn that going forward. He has to learn that. That's something that AI didn't get a lot of praise for. People always talked about how AI scored, and no. AI knew when to attack. He knew when to attack. There's a skill set in that. And Maxey has to learn that. He still has to learn that. Even being the third scorer in the league. I felt like a couple of those Knicks games we could have had. If Maxey was Maxey of the regular season. We didn't see him. The hand was injured. The finger was injured. I get that. But in the playoffs, it's not an excuse for superstars. Remember that. They perform when they're sick or they're hurt. Go ahead, BJ.
Another player who definitely is if I only grade the regular season, his grade might be higher, man. It's just he was such a shell of himself in the playoffs. Either he was overshooting in the Boston series, taking too many shots, or in the Knicks series where you'd be like, why are you not shooting the ball, Maxey? I ultimately think he ran out of gas, man. We was playing him upwards of 40 minutes all year, dog.
Yeah, for sure.
We was playing him upwards of 40 minutes all year. And I personally think he just ran out of gas, man. I think he ran out of gas. I'm gonna go B- for Maxey. I'm gonna go B- because I think other than the way the season ended, man, he's an all NBA caliber guy. Maybe not
Right.
first team because of guys like Cade Cunningham, Jalen Brunson, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. but he's probably gonna make an All NBA third team. So with him making an All NBA third team, I think it'd be disrespectful to give him anything less than a B. So I'm gonna give him that B plus. Did I say B plus or B minus? One of the two.
Okay.
Because he will make All NBA. He will make All NBA. How many games did he play? Did he play enough games? Yeah, he played 70 games. So he has enough games under his belt to be eligible. So with him being an All NBA player, I can't not give him a B plus. I can't.
Most definitely. So we're on the same page with that.
Oh shit.
Last but not least.
No, we got two left.
We got two.
You want me to go first, or you want to go first?
Do yours.
All right,
no, do yours.
So I'm doing the guy that's still here. Right? All right, y'all. Nicholas Nurse.
But he got us out the first round, BG.
Nah, I ain't rolling. I ain't rolling.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I can't roll. Nick Nurse, you were bad this year, man. I don't think you coached well at all. Like at all. Like I can't think of any time where I felt like you did something that made us look like a better team. We question what happens in practice. We give you a little bit of leeway because we understand that it's not fair. It's not fair to have so many people injured. Why does people just always get hurt? Why do they get rid of talent on your roster and for nothing and then just go get campaign? I get it. A lot of things that go on above Nick Nurse's head that he can't control, but I also realize that I see a lot of teams that lose players, a lot of teams that are playing shorthanded, and they look a lot better than we look. They look to have more scheme than we have. Too many times throughout the year, I saw two-man action with three guys just standing. One of those guys being Andre Drummond, standing in the corner. That was a part of our offense. Like that was our game plan all season. High pick and roll until there's 8 seconds left on the shot clock. If we haven't got anything out of that high pick and roll, that last 8 seconds is for that one individual player to play ISO. That was our basketball all year.
All year.
Either it was BJ, it was Maxey. It was Paul George, it was Embiid. Like it was the same thing. And with me watching, really, really watching the Sixers and saying, damn, we should be better than this. And really the one thing I don't love about it is our game plan. I got to go to the coach. Nick Nurse, although you did retain your job for the moment, I can't give you anything less than a D minus. I can't. You might have to repeat. That's why you're coming back, I guess. You got to repeat this class. Because this season, although you had a lot going on, you still had, for the majority of the season, 2 max players on your roster. Right. Yes, we were missing Paul George for 25 games, but you had at least 2 max players. You had the third best rookie in the league, and we still couldn't figure a way to get out of the play-in. We still couldn't figure a way not to get embarrassed by the Hawks time after time. We couldn't figure out a way not to lose by 40 to Charlotte during the season. We lost too many 40-point games. We hovered below 500 at home too long all season for me to give you anything higher than a D minus, Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse, the rope is getting short. The rope is getting very short. And although I'm cool with them keeping you because I would have felt nasty paying Daryl Morey, paying you, and paying our new coach next year, I wouldn't care if they fired you after a month next year if you look the way you look this year. Get it together. Hopefully we come back right. But right now, for the 25-26 season, you get a D minus. I'm sorry.
Most definitely. I'll have to double down on that. You know what? Let's give a D minus to his homie, too, Daryl Morey.
What Jay put in the chat?
Nah.
Why he get banned? He said some crazy shit?
Yeah, he was wilding.
I wasn't looking because I was talking.
Yeah, he was wilding in his show. But, you know what I mean? He definitely get a D minus. He gets a D minus simply for not delivering when we needed him to. We had the trade deadline. There's a moment that sticks out in everybody's head this season. And there's a resounding moment for me that decides the fate of this team before they even get to the playoffs. You had an opportunity to show this team, hey, I'll support you. And you didn't with Jared McCain. It's not.
Oh, you talking about Morey? How you just skip over? Give your Nurse? Did you give your Nurse grade?
No, yeah. I doubled down on the D.
Oh,
I doubled down on
Stop saying you doubling down on the D.
I doubled down on the D.
Just say I agree with giving him
I doubled down
a grade of D.
I doubled down on D. So you know, so I get it's the last show. Gotta keep it going. So you know, let's talk about Daryl Morey. Now, let's talk about why I'm going to give you this grade before. Number one, the McCain move for not allowing him to stay here and give your team a boost that they needed in the playoffs that you knew they needed. Hey, you didn't have a trade on the table that would happen at the trade deadline. Cool. That will bring you a player. You still don't sell for the future and not add now. For that, my man, I give you an F. I give you an F, a resounding F. The role players that you put on this team, the Grimes move that you made, F. All the moves that he made for this season just didn't work. It just wasn't a good job for me. F. I'm glad he's gone. But let's tag on the owner with him. I know he's not on the paper, but the owner goes grouped in with Daryl with the F. Fuck what you was talking about on a press conference. When it was time for you to go over the luxury tax, you told Daryl no. That's why Daryl didn't make a trade, because you told him no. Let's talk about it. We keep it a buck on this.
Look at him now doing a press conference. Oh no, it's perfectly fine if we go over the tax. Shut up. You're
lying ass.
You saying that shit now.
Just a liar.
You're saying that shit now, but it's like the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding.
Don't tell Greg I said this, but he was right. Harden was right. Daryl Morey is a liar, and everything that has to do with him is a liar. We just need to get away from that.
Yeah, I think that's Daryl Morey was definitely a letdown in his entire tenure. I will give him his props, man. He was able to get rid of that Ben Simmons contract. I know we grading for this year, but since he's fired, I'll talk about a few things. He was able to get rid of that Ben Simmons contract when we didn't think anybody would take that contract. He was able to bring players here. He was able to bring guys like Paul George here. But when you look at the number that Paul George got at the age, it's like, what the heck was that for? When you look at the extension, the second extension that he gave Joel Embiid, like, how do you get fired before that contract even takes hold? That contract hasn't even started yet, Carl. The second extension ain't even started yet. And Daryl gone.
Let's talk about it a little bit more. Tobias Harris not capitalizing on trading him when we could. You allow him to walk. You allow him to play out that max fucking contract that you gave him, which was bullshit, instead of bringing somebody else in off his back and allowing him to walk off to Detroit to do his thing. It was just a numerous of moves that just did not make no sense. We've been moonwalking since Daryl Morey's been here. We need to get some guy in here that'll take us on a, lateral movement, man. We need to start moving up.
But before we do that, I want to be clear that it's a lose-lose job, Carl. I don't want everybody in Philadelphia to be critical of this new GM that we're going to get once Bob Myers picks him. This is a lose-lose situation. If we come into next year with a subpar roster again, we can't really blame him. We put ourselves in a hole where it's very hard to move Paul George's contract. It's very hard to move Joel Embiid's contract. Yes, we got a bunch of openings on the roster that we don't have filled right now, but those are pennies. The $200 million man that wears 21 and the other $200 million man that wears 8 are going to be the reason that this is a difficult job. This is going to be a difficult job to get this roster back where they need to be. Yes, we have pieces here that are great for the future. Maxey, BJ, maybe even keeping Kelly Oubre as the OG of this team instead of like the Kyle Lowrys. An OG who can play too.
Right.
Stuff like that. I think the future is bright, but be clear, Philadelphia, do not crucify this new GM if he don't get it right tomorrow. We're not going to be a championship contender in 5 minutes. Morey put us in a hole. He put us in a hole.
I'm going to tell you this too, as we're about to close out this show. As great as I think he played this year, and as much as I enjoyed him, and I know this will be hard to do, but I think he's easier to move than a Joel Embiid. We got to figure out how to move Paul George out of here. That's the only way you relieve yourself even a little bit. You got to find a way to move Paul George out of here. He's shown he could still play. He's shown he could still deliver. Now let's find a team that's willing to take him on. That's all I'm saying. Or we have to run it back. There's no way out of it. There's a run back with
that's what
3 extra
Like,
players.
I pray to goodness that we at least have some leniency for who takes that job and don't expect them to turn it around tomorrow. I don't expect that. I don't. I think this might be the most difficult job, most appealing job, because it's Philadelphia. You're gonna make a lot of money. we don't struggle for our market. Our market is our market. We
keep it-
are one of those type teams, but we also are in a bad situation where it's like, yo, when that person give you their hand, hey dog, I gotta run to the bathroom, play my spades hand for me, and you get his hands and you see heart,
And
heart,
it's
heart,
shit
diamond,
bucket.
diamond, diamond. Wait,
What
what
do
is
you want
this?
me to do?
I gotta win with this. All right, I'm gonna try to figure it out. So I want everybody in Philadelphia, all the Philadelphia 76ers fans, once we do pick a GM, to just have patience with them.
Take it
I know
easy.
we're not the most patient city, but if you've been patient with Joel Embiid all these years, I think you could give our GM a couple years to figure this out. Please.
Most definitely. And I figured it out already. You got to move on from Paul George, or Joel has to accept an early retirement. Other than that, we're stuck with 2 more years with these two. And when I say stuck, I'm not saying it like these are bad players, but they're unavailable.
That's the
And that's the
thing. I was
problem.
in the city last week, well, this past week, and had this type of conversation with mad people because they know we do the pod. So I had this conversation with mad people, and I'm like, yo, I don't want y'all to think that I hate Joel Embiid or I hate it's just in Philadelphia, it's just not gonna work no more. We tried everything. We
Right.
tried everything with this
I
this
actually,
line.
BG, I actually love the way the team looked being led by Maxey and VJ. They need to continue building off of that. They will be doing these young guys a disservice. You already wasted a year of Maxey's career or 2. You're already low key fucked with VJ's career a little bit. Move these guys out of the rail.
No.
Mm.
Maxey, I'll give you that. But I don't think we didn't waste any of VJ yet.
No, not waste. Not
year
waste.
Year one is learn this shit. And he learned
listen,
that motherfucker
Oh,
good.
for
didn't
sure. For sure.
he? DJ
Listen,
learned that motherfucker this shit.
we gave him an A even with all the obstacles that he had to face with this team. Having Joel in one game, having Joel not in one game, having Maxey in one game, he's played in weird circumstances this year, and he's gotten that A.
And guess what? Because he's been through all them circumstances, there's
It's gonna make him stronger.
that's surprising for BJ Edgecombe, in my opinion. Going into his sophomore season, he's had to be a number 1 option. He's had to be a number 2. He's had to be a number 3. He's had to be a number 4. He's seen every type of thing with this Sixers team here. He saw every type of scenario. He's seen us get blown out. He's seen us blowing out teams. He's seen us, but he be the leading scorer. He's seen us be the lowest scorer in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
He saw so many different types of NBA situations this year. It's going to bode well for him. It's going to bode well for BJ.
I'm going to say this to close up the show. This wasn't just a hand grenade situation. Oh, we just send one bomb. We get Maury out of here. That's fine. No, this organization needs a full nuke as far as the brass. A full nuke. You need to nuke it out because the brain trust is still here. The guys that said it's okay to deal with McCain is still here. The guys that gave Joel and PG those contracts are still here. They threw Daryl out the bus, but Daryl had to go to a boss's office every decision to get that okay, and he got the okay. So, for different reasons, mostly financial. So
you might see Elton Brand and Jameer Nelson this year.
What's his job title?
I don't know where Elton Brand and Jameer Nelson were literally invisible. Like Jameer Nelson, this was his first year being their third person. I ain't see that motherfucker one time.
I thought, yeah,
not once, not one time,
not once. But
I ain't see Elton Brand twice this year.
With that being said, y'all make sure y'all lock into all our pages everywhere we go. Y'all want to know where we going to come on next, when we going to come on next. That's how you're going to find out. Just like you did for this show, we'll have a flyer pinned up that week to let you know. Most likely it'll be a trade scenario or a free agent signing. You'll see us pop up on here, or we just might pop up here talking the shit.
We might come in here and pop up when the Knicks playing their elimination game and get put out the playoffs. We might watch it live on YouTube so we can talk to all your bum ass Knicks fans. I'm sick of y'all. Took over my damn city, man. Look at the top of the screen, man. We on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch, man. We go by word of mouth advertising. So don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend about the Eat Sleep Sixers podcast. The season is over, but Eat Sleep Sixers lives on. Like Carl said, we'll be here throughout the off season, talking about everything that matters. Obviously, when we get a new GM, we'll talk about it. Might talk about some of these the Eastern Conference Finals. We may talk about the NBA Finals, but we'll be here. But we're gonna talk a lot of Sixers this offseason, because this is a big offseason for the Sixers, man. We going in a different direction, at least leadership wise. And I know that doesn't always translate to who's on the court, but it's a new direction for the Sixers, man. So I'm excited. I'm excited for for what's to come. For what's to come. Let's go Sixers, man. We'll see y'all next time. I don't know when next time be, but we'll be back. Let's go Sixers.